Hey folks, this is Joshua Horton. How's it going today? I want to talk about something that I call EntrepreneursNewsletter-I.D.E.A. EIDEA is an acronym that stands for Internal Dynamic Energetic Arts. What it is it's the self-development practice I have developed for myself over the past 16 years, coming from a bunch of different sources. I've read lots of books and gone to seminars and done trainings and all kinds of stuff around that. And this is my own personal practice that I've developed. So, this is going to be a 4-part video series. I've done this talk for audiences before, and it takes about 3 hours. And I'm not going to shoot a 3-hour video. I'm going to try to condense it into 4 videos under 10 minutes each. And to do that, I'm going to need to, simplify things as much as possible. And so we'll see how it goes. Now, this first video is going to be essentially practical applications. It's going to be tools that you use for this self-development. The other 3 videos are going to be a breakdown of the different aspects of being human, and simply those are physical, mental, and spiritual. Obviously there's many ways you could break it down. Humans are very complex, but like I said, I'm going to try to keep this simple and as tight as possible. So right now I'm going to give you 2 tools that we'll use, and I'll expand on them in each section of this series. So here's the basics. The first one is something I call creative concentrated focus. So what is that? Let's break it down. Creative concentrated focus. Creativity is it's like a thought form. It's something that bridges gaps. Creativity bridges gaps. If you're talking about problem solving, creativity comes in the form of a solution. If you're talking about artwork, creativity comes in the form of the outward expression of an inner idea. We all have, some idea of what creativity is. We are all creative to some degree. So, concentration. Concentration is when you remove everything from a situation except the particular substance you're working with. Let me try to re-say that. You remove all substances except the substance that you're working with. So right now we're talking about a mental thing, and so in our minds we can hold all kinds of stuff, thoughts, ideas, doubts, fears, emotions, all kinds of stuff. So instead of thinking all of that stuff, all we're going to do is be creative. We are going to remove everything except creativity from our thought process. So that is concentrated creativity. The next part of that is focus. And focus is when you block out everything from your awareness except the one thing that you're working on. So, creative concentrated focus is a mind state of exactly what it says. When you're being creative, you've concentrated that, there's nothing else in your mind except creativity, and now you're focused on a particular problem or a piece of work or a piece of art or whatever it is you're doing. Creative concentrated focus. It's a very powerful mindset. It's a very powerful tool. You can turn it on and off and apply it to whatever you happen to be working on. So the next tool I want to give you is breath control. Normally breathing happens automatically. It's an autonomic function. We don't have to think about it, and we breathe anyway, and that's good. We don't have to think about that all the time, because we want to be able to focus on other things. But sometimes it's very useful to take control of your breathing. So I'm going to make a little aside here, and then I'll get right back to the breath control. I want to say that what I'm talking about here is a framework. It's a mental model. It's not truth. It's not the gospel. It is only a mental model that we can use as a tool for something. So part of what this model includes is what we are as humans. And for this model, what we are is energy, life stuff. We are a thinking stuff. Which is life force. Our life force is this conscious thinking energy, and we are just made up of that. All of what we are is made up of this energetic life stuff. Like I said, this is just a model. We're using this model as a tool to basically work on ourselves on the inner level. When we use this model, we can actually change things about ourselves on the mental landscape internally. But it works on the physical level, it works on the mental level, and it works on the spiritual level. But like I said, it's a model. I'm not trying to start a church or anything like that. So, get back to breathing. Breath control, or breathing, is like the essential rhythm of our life. It's like the pump that keeps the life coming in and out of us. So learning to control your breath will give you a direct interface to control this life stuff that we're made out of. So, with that in mind, there are four phases of the breath. They are the inhale, which is when you're taking in life. They're the top of the breath, which is the space between your inhale and your exhale. Then there's the exhale, when you're letting out your air. And then there's the bottom of the breath, which is the space between the exhale and the inhale. So, the inhale, within this model, the inhale brings in life. The top of the breath integrates it. The exhale exhales out the toxins. And the bottom of the breath disintegrates. In order to learn to control your breathing, what you want to do is you break these four parts into a map. You assign each one a number. So a simple one would be, I inhale for 4 seconds, I hold it at the top for 1 second, I exhale for 8 seconds, and hold it at the bottom for 1 second. Now that will sort of mimic our natural breathing. And you've just controlled a breath cycle. And you can change that map by just assigning a different number to different parts. And we'll get more into that on different videos. I could really do like a whole series on just breathing, but that's beyond the scope of this particular series. So there's breath control. You learn to control your inhale by counting how long you inhale. You learn to control your exhale by counting how long you exhale. And that's basically it. And you learn to control holding your breath with air and without air. And that's breath control. So, like I said, we'll get into the practical application of that in the different parts of this video series. Thanks a lot, and I hope this series is helpful to you.